48 other states in allowing residents to carry concealed weapons. As of today, the state's concealed carry law is in effect, but a lot of us still are unsure of what the new law means. Frank Gumina is a local attorney who's already counseled businesses on what to expect. Thanks for being here.
Well, good morning. Thanks for having me.
Let's jump right into this. Who can get a concealed carry license?
Sure. As of today, a Wisconsin resident 21 years of age or older can get a concealed carry license and can apply as of today. No one's going
What
to...
if someone is a felon? Can a felon?
A felon cannot get a license.
What if someone has a mental defect, as they say in court lingo?
Sure. Generally speaking, those individuals will not be able to get a license as well. There's detailed information on the Department of Justice website regarding who can and cannot get a license, and people should look at those rules carefully.
And we've talked about this for a couple weeks. Training seems to be this nebulous definition. No one really knows what that means.
Sure. The Department of Justice just came out with emergency rules with respect to the training. There's going to be 4 hours of instructor-led training that most individuals will have to receive. That means no online courses. In addition, Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources Hunters certification qualifies for certification as well. So individuals who've had that sort of training in the past can get their license as well and can apply for their license.
Okay, Frank, the next question, can an employer prohibit employees from carrying a concealed weapon on the job?
Absolutely. Employers have that right. Employers have been making different decisions out in the marketplace, so it is up to each business to make its own decision. It's not a one-size-fits-all, and so employers really have to consider what is going to make their employees feel safe, what's going to make their customers feel safe.
And a side question to that, if an employer does limit bringing a weapon on premises, can an employee still bring a weapon to work and leave it in the car? What do the rules say about that?
Sure, there is a parking lot exception, so employers may not prohibit, as a condition of employment, a license holder from having that weapon in a vehicle on the company's parking lot. So employees will be able to keep the weapon in the parking lot. The law does not answer whether employers can regulate how that weapon is stored in the vehicle, and so most employers are regulating in some way, saying that you need to keep that gun out of sight, you need to have it secure in the vehicle. So employers are looking at regulating weapons in cars.
Okay, next question. Does a concealed carry permit allow concealed carry of any firearm?
No. So it does not permit the carrying of a long gun or a rifle. It is only a handgun, a billy club, a knife, and never a switchblade, and an electric weapon, so such as a taser.
Does having a concealed carry license give a person greater right to defend themselves or others?
Absolutely not. The law on lethal force is the same and applies the same whether you have that license or not. And the law basically says in order to use lethal force, you must be under reasonable anticipation of imminent death or imminent great bodily harm. And that's not always clear under the law. Comparative example, so if somebody comes in shooting, of course that's a clear example of when a license holder could return fire. A not so clear example would be the unfortunate incident at State Fair Park this last year, where groups of young people were beating others. In that situation, not clear whether somebody is under imminent fear of death or great bodily harm, and license holders really need to think through when they're going to use that weapon, because a judge or a jury may second guess you at some point.
That's very interesting, the State Fair, which is very, still present in a lot of people's minds, and, a situation that could happen.
Horrible situation, and again, adrenaline's going to be pumping in those situations, and that's why I think training is going to be so important for people. Also, we live in a very mobile society, so you just don't go to work. Usually people go to the store, they'll go to their school to pick up their children, go to the bank. You have to realize where you can and cannot bring that weapon. You cannot bring that weapon on school grounds, and in fact, under the Gun-Free School Zone Act, you are supposed to unload that weapon and case it even before driving your vehicle onto that parking lot.
Wow. And I really want to get to this. Does concealed carry mean open carry? Does it mean that I can flash the gun?
Brandishing the gun is, in a threatening manner, is always going to be a problem. We still have open carry, though, in this state. Under the Wisconsin Constitution, Article 1, open carry is allowed. So if that weapon is holstered, if a person is not using it or brandishing it in a threatening manner.
So someone can see it, but when I expose it, that kicks it into a different category of the law.
Sure, that could be construed as disorderly conduct at the very least, and could be construed as more. But merely having an open carry under the law is not disorderly conduct. The Department of Justice, Wisconsin Department of Justice, in April of 2009, issued an opinion that that was not disorderly conduct, merely having the weapon in an open carry fashion.
Frank Gumina, thank you so much. So many questions. We have a link to the DOJ's website on our website. Go to fox6now.com, click on links, and you'll see it, top post right there, some of the questions and some of the answers. Lots of questions. Again, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
It